Finished up these 3 little fields last night, and Paul is moving the head to go back on the trailer. We're gonna move to a farm to the north. We ran into a slight problem. There's a leak on one of the hydraulic lines, so they're checking to see how much fluid we lost. See what the damage is here, so hopefully it's nothing too serious. Found the leak.
It's back behind it.
Paul's up here adding some more hydraulic fluid because we lost so much from it spraying out everywhere. So, this is jug number 2, so good thing we caught it. It was pretty empty. Thankfully we caught this now and not later on going down the road or something, but still a pain. Got the combine filled up with enough hydraulic fluid to move it out of here. So we're going to take it to the shop and get it fixed up first. And then I'm falling behind with the auger wagon to get things out to this farm. Minor problem, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Well, while I keep trying to fix the other combine, I jump back in mine and load it onto the little auger wagon. Then I'm going to go harvest another one of my smaller fields to at least be doing something while the other combine is currently getting fixed. So the good thing about having 2 is you can still get some things done, but it's not ideal either. Back in one of my little fields, cutting some more of my soybeans, and as you can see, the deer really enjoyed it this year. So we kind of joke and say that a lot of these smaller fields are more like a food plot for deer than they are an actual harvestable field, but that's alright. Makes for good hunting, I guess. But so far, things are going good for me in this combine. I'm not really sure what they're yielding because we took the monitor out of this one and put it in the new combine, so I'll have to wait and see when we haul it off, see what it actually made. But through the middle of the field, it's pretty good. At least they look like it. They're tall and look like they're filled with pods, but then as you get on the edges of the field, under the trees and where the deer can come out and eat them, it's not quite as good, but that's what I normally see anyways. So I think we could have had a little bit higher yields, but the last part of the season, like late August and through most of September, it was pretty dry. So I think as the soybeans were finishing up, filling out their pods, probably missed out on some of the top end yield just because it got a little dry. But this year was kind of interesting. All of June was very dry. We were basically in a drought, and then we got lucky with a lot of really good rains through July and August, which really saved the crop. couple more rains in September would have been nice, but at the end of the day, you can't really complain, and you can't control it anyways, so it's not even really worth discussing too much, but things are still going good. Got another one of my fields done, and heading back home now. I moved on to the next field now, and Paul and James brought me the other auger wagon so that I can keep going. I have moved fields again, and as you can see, this is another field where we planted our soybeans green into the standing cereal rye, and then terminated it with Roundup after the soybeans had emerged. They were probably V1, maybe V2 when we terminated the rye. And then as you can see, there's still some of the rye residue out here. So far, every field that we planted green into and then terminated the rye is where we've seen our highest yields, which is very interesting. If I had to guess, in my opinion, that's probably because we had a really dry June, and the rye probably retained some moisture in the soil during that time period, which was actually beneficial to the soybeans this year. Now, every year's kind of hit or miss. You know, if it was super dry, then maybe it would have hurt us. But overall, we like doing it just because it adds more residue and more carbon back into the soil. Over time, can increase organic matter. It's good for weed retention, or weed suppression, I should say, water retention. And overall, it's just kind of a fun system. It looks kind of crazy whenever you're planting soybeans and driving a tractor through rye that's almost as tall as the cab. But once you spray it and then it terminates and then starts to lay down, by the end of the year when you're out here harvesting it, you really don't even remember that it was all out there. So, pretty interesting. Here's the reality of farming around a lot of timber, is that throughout the season, sometimes trees fall down and then I have to go around it until we can get the backhoe in here to get it out of the way. So, but as you can see, the soybeans don't yield too much around the woods because the tree roots actually come all the way out underneath the soil there. So around the edges of the field where we have timber and stuff, the yields are actually absolutely terrible, which again, that's just mostly because the tree roots come all the way out underneath here. Plus, a lot of the times, these soybeans aren't receiving as much sunlight because they're in the shade. But it is what it is. So, overall, things are going really good. You can still see a lot of that rye residue out there, which is what I like to see. Old brother Paul came to help me unload on the go. Still in the same field we planted the rye into. Got a nice sunset going on. Definitely helps keep things moving when you're able to do this, so glad he was able to come help. Just got finished up for the day. That field's not completely done yet, but I ran into some later maturity group soybeans. I was cutting, I believe they're 3.3s. And then we also had some 4.3s in this field because it was one of the last we planted, and that's just what we had left. But they're not quite ready. The beans are still kind of green, not fully mature yet. So we got to be done in this field for now. But overall, I had a good day, got a lot done. The other combine is broke down, but it should be fixed tomorrow morning. So overall, we still got some stuff done, and hopefully we can get both of them rolling tomorrow.